I'm coming out of Denver here as well. I run a
Awesome.
couple different items out of FBA, mainly in sporting goods.
Okay.
But kind of one of the big questions that we have is that we also deal with a lot of other third parties fighting after kind of some of the similar items.
So like hijackers, you mean?
Hijackers,
And competition?
technically we're kind of all approved to sell. So
Okay.
I guess we're all kind of hijackers in that regard.
So you're doing like wholesaling or retail arbitrage, I'm guessing?
Correct.
Okay.
But so one of the curious things that we've just been battling a lot is what tools, what software, what kind of strategies do you use to keep the buy box as long as you can, and to help kind of monitor what everyone else is doing on the items in which you're working on?
Yes. So there's a few different platforms that'll let you do that. I think Sellex is one of them. We're actually building some tools like that into Seller SEO. Next year, we actually have like 4 or 5 tools that we're hoping to push out the door, but we don't want to go too wide. We want to kind of perfect what we have going now and then slowly add stuff. We don't want to get too crazy in that. Amazon actually has built-in repricing, and it works fairly well. It's a little bit clunky. It's a little bit hard to learn, and it's a little bit clunky, but for the most part, it gets the job done. What you want to be careful with by doing that, though, is it's a race to the bottom. If you put that repricer on, so you're always getting the buy box, and your competitors all have that repricer on, then all of you are just going to go down to $5 or $10 or whatever your minimum range is, and so that doesn't really help anyone. I've never really done wholesaling or retail arbitrage, and so when people ask me these questions, I'm really not an expert on it because and if it's working for you, awesome. Me personally, I just can never grapple promoting somebody else's product. Why am I going to market? Why am I going to put somebody else's product out there when I can go source it myself, probably get it for cheaper, have a bigger profit margin, and then see the gain at the end. I always use like Under Armour. Nobody knew who Under Armour was. It was like this one guy who paid some baseball player, I think it was like 10 grand to wear his t-shirt that said Under Armour on it, and that's all it took, and it just took off like wildfire. The upside is so much bigger on private label. To me, it's I know that it's cheaper and easier to get into and kind of learn the ropes, but to me, it's like throw yourself into the fire. If you've ever seen my YouTube channel, I talk about a sourcing strategy that I used a ton when I first started out, which I didn't even know was a strategy at the time, but looking back was pretty awesome. Is I would go to AliExpress and I would, instead of going, everybody makes a mistake when they do private label to go to the Alibaba right away or whoever they're sourcing from and get like 1,000 units. And then they put it up there and then they're stuck. It doesn't move. And they're like, oh crap, I just spent $5 grand and now I can't get rid of this product. What we did is we literally would just source like 10 products at a time on AliExpress and throw up 10 listings and then test it and see. And if one took off, boom, and it sold really quickly, we go, cool, there we go, product test. Like we know there's a demand for it. We know that we can sell, at least 10 of them fairly quickly. We know that the PVC may not be super expensive on those products. And so then we go to Alibaba and then brand it and then, source 1,000 or 5,000 or, whatever else we wanted to do. And so that's kind of what we would do there. Now back to your question. I guess I kind of went off on a tangent there, and I'm sorry for that.
No, that's good.
But in that case, I would just use the built-in Amazon repricer and try not to race to the bottom. You can also, if you're doing any type of marketing that's not PPC, if you don't have the buy box on Amazon, you can use a URL with your merchant ID in it, which I'm sure to send people directly to your individual offer on the Amazon listing. So what you could do is you could build like a WordPress website or a ClickFunnels page or something with that product and market it beforehand. So people know the price, can read the details, can see the photo, everything before they get to Amazon. And then when they click through the Amazon, they're already seeing your offer and then they add it to the cart and buy it that way. If I were you, that's how I would do it rather than try to compete on price. Cause like I said, you're just going to race to the bottom.
Gotcha. No, that's awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Nice talking to you. Have a great one.